hear that more than once in your lifetime. This next work by Morgan Gould, I have a few pieces by Morgan Gould here. I've conducted American Salute, which is a nice patriotic work. I've done the Fawn, which is a neat little bluesy trumpet feature. And doing some research, I found that a lot of people in the band world think that this ballad for band is just one of the best, one of the most important masterworks for wind band. And I'm thinking, well, why don't I ever hear this played? Morgan Gould was a very interesting person, kind of an American Mozart. Had his first piece of music published when he was 6 years old. So my daughter Erin's back there, she's 4. We got 2 years. At a young age, he studied piano with some very important piano teachers. I believe, from some of my resources, he became the first pianist at Radio City Music Hall at an age of 18 years old. By the time he was 22, he was conducting radio orchestras all the time. He was with one of the major radio networks and conducting and arranging and composing, and did numerous pieces for film and also television and of course radio broadcast. And I believe at the end of his life he earned a Pulitzer Award for a piece he wrote for orchestra. The ballad for band, and I wouldn't have guessed this without researching it, he says his inspiration was African American spirituals. And the form of the piece is slow and then fast and then ends slow, like it begins. And I don't know if I hear that. So if you hear that tie to American spirituals, you can find me after the concert and we'll have a talk. I think there's some interesting bluesy harmonies, some interesting syncopated rhythms that maybe are a nod towards that wonderful American tradition of song. But regardless, it's a great work. It was commissioned by the famous band of Edwin Goldman in the early 40s, and some scholars believe that this is the first concert work of importance for wind band by an American composer. So not a march, not a waltz, not entertainment music, but meant to be this concert hall music. So with all this talk, it better be good, huh? So I think I better shut up. We should get to it.